Hello. Um, so my bathroom just flooded. So I know I literally just went live 2 seconds ago, but turns out my washing machine is broken. Hooray! Yay! My washing machine is broken and there's water all over my bathroom. So I will be back. You know what? Yes, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you all on my break screen and I'll be back. Hello, I'm back. Hooray! Everything's fine. And by everything's fine, I mean everything sucks. Wait, why is nothing showing up over here? Why are you broken? I'm not mad, by the way. So what happened? I have no idea. I don't know why it's broken. I just know that it's broken. So did cats break the washing machine? No, they don't have access to that room. So this morning before I went to work, I ran a load of laundry. When I finished when it beeped, I went in. There was a little bit of water on the floor. Actually, there was a decent amount of water on the floor. Not nearly as much as what just happened, but there was an amount of water on the floor. It was a concerning amount, but it was clean-upable with just some paper towels. And I didn't really need much more than that. Paper towels and a fan, and I was fine. But I was like, okay, don't panic. I was running the dishwasher at the same time, and it was draining at the same time that the washing machine finished its run. I was also doing stuff in the actual kitchen sink at the same time. Maybe it just backed up. Maybe all of that happening at once was just a bit too much for the old pipes in this place. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run an experiment when I get home. The experiment was, one sec. Yeah. Why was it not activated? Whatever. The chat should be fixed now. It should actually show up on screen. So I was like, okay, it takes 40 minutes for a load of laundry to run through. Can't do that on my lunch break. Technically, I could if I, like, dashed home, did that first thing, and was willing to dash back to work right after it finally finished. So I was like, all right, I'll take care of that, and I will run a load of laundry when I get home. And I'll just keep an eye on it. And the instant that I start seeing water, I'll stop it. So, I started it. Went, did other things, came back, checked, floor's still dry. Awesome, good start. We've already filled it, so we know it's not leaking, right? I filled it, knew it wasn't leaking because I had filled it. It was filled, it was doing the spinnies, it was doing what washing machines do. I'm like, all right, I'll come back in about another 15 minutes, see what's going on. Do some work on the stream stuff, getting the title and the everything else taken care of. Get everything set up. And go back in there. Nothing. This is about halfway through the cycle at this point, right? Still nothing. Awesome. Looks like it was just a bad coincidence. A whole lot of stuff happened at once. Fucked it up. It beeps right after I hit go live. Right? So in the countdown screen, it beeps. And I'm like, okay, cool. I go and I look in. Fucking flooded. And here's the fun part. Because immediately behind my washing machine is the kitchen, it flooded out there too. So I was actually spending more time out in the kitchen than I was in the bathroom. Because the bathroom it's a small enough space. I could throw a towel down and it's going to sop up 90% of the water on the floor. And I just so happened to buy 2 brand new towels today. Because I had very few, like bath towels, right? I bought 2 brand new bath towels today. Good time, yeah. Because I had to throw away the old ones, because the old ones were, like, old. And they were, like, fraying, and they were gross. 2 new towels for 1 pond? Well, I mean, I tend to use bath towels as, like, hand-drying towels in the bathroom as well. So I want to make sure that even if, when I have one of them in the wash, I still have another one that I can use. Because, you know, I don't do laundry all the time. I live by myself. I don't dirty a whole lot of laundry. So they're going to get tested immediately. Yep, it's a good thing I didn't get white ones. I thought about getting white ones, and I was like, that's dumb. So I got beige. Laundry is fun. Laundry is fine. It's fine as long as the fucking machine works. Why would you get white towels when you have cats? Why would you get white towels ever? Getting white towels is a terrible idea. Get towels the color of the cat? Why? So that you don't see all of the hair on the cat? Or that the cat has thrown onto the towel? Why? They aren't working? Maybe. Hey guys, by the way, do you remember where we were? Because I don't. I was not a functioning human being by the end of stream last night. Dude, I'm so ready to get out of this fucking place, man. I'm so fucking ready to get out of this place, man. Holy shit. Holy shit. Going to move out soonish? Hopefully. Hopefully. Alright, what the hell's going on? Who are we fighting again? Oh, we're fighting more mandrakes. Wait, is it literally? No, there's a couple over here. Okay, I was about to say, there ain't no way that's all of them. Alright, so Abelard, we're gonna put you over here. Cabela, we're gonna put over here. Oh, that's right. I actually have 3 smaller characters. Last time I was awake, some sort of abominations, but you did some more. Did you do a lot after that place? Not really. Thank you. Use 1 white hallways again. I can use 1 white hallways again. I can actually send him down here. I'm curious. Do I have to turn on the lamps? Let me actually look at these guys. Bale blast. Fire blast dealing fire damage and inflicting burning for 2 rounds unless the target passes a toughness test. 100% dodge. Ah! You don't have to turn them on, but the combat doesn't end until they're all on, so you have to turn them on. Gotcha. So this is why they were just dying yesterday. I think it was you, Jello, right? You were the one who was like, I don't know why they're not killing you. Because they're supposed to do a thing. They only attack if you are adjacent to them. Yeah, it's because they don't get a free swing unless they're adjacent. Fucking nerds. All right. What does this do again? This one just like... That's Cabela. That's Adira. Okay. I could literally just do this.
Am I getting paid for this?
All right. And then we do this, and this, and this, and this. And then all of these. Damn. All right, so we quit. And then we give her another turn. All right. Well, there we are, and there we have it. Time to turn on all the lamps. Wait, what does this do? MP equal to 14. Come on. She can't actually reach any of them, even with 14 movement points. She can't reach any of them. Disgusting.
I bring mercy and retribution.
What am I missing? I can only but notice that you're a player. Yes. What? Why are we not done? Is there like... The well goes so deep, you can do stuff and things. I am confused. Really? You had to go through an entire... Oh my god. Just had to kill an entire round. Okay. Emelina lets out an agonized moan. Wasted. All my work, all my preparation. All for nothing. Emelina Iona Lichtenhart. In the name of the Inquisition, you are hereby removed from your post and expelled from the Holy Ordo. Henrik's eyes are fixed on Emelina, but she does not look at him. Then the interrogator turns his gaze on you. The fate of its fallen members is a matter for the Ordo. Heretical archives, artifacts obtained in the excavation, and other assets in Lichtenhart's possession, I hereby declare the property of the Holy Inquisition. However, it is for the rogue trader to decide what becomes of Fatan 4 and its people. What is your verdict? I shall take the survivors off planet. So be it, Lord Captain. Now, as for Emelina. You are hereby stripped of your special status as an agent of the Golden Throne and all attendant rights and privileges. Iconoclast. Yeah, it's the good guy. It's the good guy option. I'm playing as a good guy for the most part. I'm authorized to use all interrogation measures stipulated in the standard framework for information extraction to ascertain the fate of Acolyte Tanakia Calburgaria. Will that be necessary, Emelina? No, Interrogator Van Calax. The sage's voice is scarcely louder than a whisper. I have no intention of concealing that information from you. I am almost certain that Tanakia Calburgaria was eliminated on the orders of Xavier Calcazar after being deemed a volatile element. He's gonna waterboard her? Far more than that. There was an iconoclastic movement that almost won, which banned the false idolization of Jesus Christ. Claiming it was diluting his image. Interesting. After being deemed a violent element. A volatile element. Henry's face is a mask of disbelief and anger. You're lying. I believe it's supposed to be like a for the people kind of thing. Let's find out. Iconoclast definition. An iconoclast is a person who criticizes or opposes widely accepted beliefs, cherished traditions, and established institutions. In the literal sense, it also refers to a destroyer of religious images and icons. Interesting. 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 Historically, yeah. How is that different from a heretic in this world? Because the heretic explicitly goes against the teachings, whereas an iconoclast questions them and criticizes them. That's why the icon. One second, something's beeping. What now? What could possibly be beeping? While I'm up, I'm gonna turn on the fan because it's freaking hot in here. It was my washing machine beeping saying, I'm throwing an error code. Thank you. It's literally off. I don't know why it started. Whatever. It's stupid. It's gonna explode the damn thing. It's not a chaotic stance. Yeah. I have a rather unpleasant suspicion that the witnesses to this conversation are also at risk of being eliminated at a later date. Whether you're joking or being deadly serious, your words fall on the deaf ears of the two acolytes of the Golden Throne. Emelina, weakened by biomancy, is staring fixedly at Heinrichs, who seems to be engrossed in intense rumination. I saw one of Calcazar's documents when I went to receive my orders. Only a fleeting glimpse, but with my memory like a picture recorder, it was long enough for its contents to be imprinted on my mind. I do not know the details, but the document itself was an interrogation transcript. With a final annotation indicating the removal of the person from the retinue. And we both know how someone leaves the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, Interrogator Van Calax. Tanaki is the Lord Inquisitor's top espionage specialist. Wherever Xavier chose to refrain from making a public show strike, Calburgaria was invaluable. Why would he do this? I do not know, Interrogator Van Calax. Just as I do not know why the Lord Inquisitor sent me to this nondescript planet as soon as I voiced my concerns about his methods. Just as I do not know if I should blame the warp or the lack of responses to my calls for help. Oh, blame the warp for the lack of responses to my calls for help, or if Calcazar prohibited the others from answering. The nature of her mission, and of Xavier's true purpose here in the Expanse, was likely why he chose to bury the secret, and Tanakia along with it. The operational data indicates that you are the retinue's primary torture specialist, Interrogator Van Kallox. At this time, all this time, I thought you were the one who conducted Tanakia's interrogation, and one of the reasons why I destroyed my personal data block was to ensure that my own sentiments would not prevent me from thinking rationally when I next encountered you, or Calcazar's other servants. Henrik says nothing for several seconds, staring into space. At last, he begins to speak. Emelina, Iona, Lichtenhart. Your knowledge is of particular interest to the Inquisition. Before your fate is decided, I will carry out the necessary procedures to extract the information from you. You can assist by providing access to your reminiscence blocks. However, unsealing the inaccessible block will require greater force. I don't understand what the fuck I did to make him more callous. Like, what the fuck did I do that just froze his heart even more than it already was? It's just something I don't understand. Like, I don't know what the fuck I did at the beginning of the game that pissed him off to the point where he's just like, fuck it, everybody dies. Probably did you? No, I tried to and he wouldn't let me. I already had this by the time I got to that point. He would not let me destroy it because of this. Like, he already had this shit by the time I left that first fucking planet. You know what? Your influence has made Heinrichs more callous. Iconoclast decision make him more merciful. What the fuck? I don't understand. Did you encourage him to torture the corpse pile in the room before the machine? I don't think so. I'd have to go back and look at the VOD, but I don't think I did. I do kind of hate the fact that, like, everything else that I've done around him has been iconoclast. Or damn near. I've made a couple of dogmatic decisions, but very, very few. And none of them made a difference after Kiava Gamma. That was, like, the end of me being able to influence this motherfucker, apparently. So that you're even not iconoclast enough? Except I have literally maxed out my iconoclast fucking points. I don't know. I think it's broken. I think it's a broken game. I think it's 0 out of 10. Literally unplayable. Uninstall. Report it to the TSA. This is inhumane. For you, perhaps. For me, it is my duty, Terry. We are finished here. The planet will be designated unfit for further use. The risk... What? I'm fucking sorry. Hold the fuck on. However, it is for the rogue trader to decide what becomes of Phaeton 4 and its people. However, it is for the rogue trader to decide what becomes of Phaeton 4 and its people. The planet will be designated unfit for further use. The risks are simply too great. I get that I said that I was taking the fucking people off planet, but he said the planet and the people, they are just... Dude. I hate this guy, man. I fucking hate this dude. Can I kill him? I wouldn't mind killing him. I'm not gonna fucking lie. He's funny. He's infuriating. Actually infuriating. Dude, it's so maddening. So fucking maddening. If you get Kyronix out, you'll be with Calcazar at that time, so yes, you can kill him. Oh. The temptation. The temptation is strong. The temptation is strong. It's just every YouTube short I watched in 40k in a nutshell. It's like... But like, what is pissing me off? This is what is making me really fucking mad about this. Is the fact that I did what I am apparently supposed to do to make him not a callous dickbag. And the game just said, Pluto reverse, bitch. Like, fuck you. Heinrichs, you dumb bastard.
I thank you for your assistance with my mission. Thanks to rogue trader von Valancius, the Inquisition has stopped the enemies of humanity, even those hiding in its own ranks. On this occasion, I will no longer be making any claim on your time or resources.
Good.
It is dangerous information, but you are already too deeply involved. In the Inquisition, there are two main philosophies: Puritanism and radicalism. The adherents of the former are conservatives who strive to follow the letter of inquisitorial doctrine in all matters. The radicals are more pragmatic. They believe that the end often justifies the means, and they use tools that a Puritan would condemn as heretical. Emelina used the powers of chaos to gain the upper hand against Xenos. I touched a cogitator built by cultists to learn its secrets. None of us is pure. Xavier. The craven-hearted say that the career of every Inquisitor ends in either death or heresy.
I vote death.
The Lord Inquisitor has borne this burden longer than any of us. It would be naive to think that he had only ever used Puritan methods, and even more naive to suggest that such methods have in any way weakened his loyalty to the God Emperor. And that is all I will say on the subject.
What'll happen?
There are ways of breaking into her memory and extracting the secrets she is still keeping within herself. I will see to it that no secret escapes the grasp of the Holy Ordos. This is not the first time, or the last, I fear, that I will cause the death of someone close to me. There have always been reasons for it. Sometimes the reasons are dictated by duty, sometimes by my own personal volition.
More reason to kill him.
I will remain part of your retinue. That will not change. I will continue to accompany you until I receive orders to the contrary from the Lord Inquisitor, if ever. Who knows? Perhaps one day my journey will end like Emelina's, but that day is not today.
No, what? You don't want me to kill him? Handful of actually good people in the Empire in the high ranks, but they do in fact keep the Empire from imploding. Don't send him away, but I want to. I hate him now. He's an asshole, and he doesn't fucking listen to me. What's the point of having a subordinate if they won't fucking listen to you? Wait, why do I have to go to Dargonis? Ah, okay. Wait, what? Solomord wants to talk to me too? Oh my fuck. Oh. Most officials are trash tier humans from a modern perspective, and the ones who are decent are usually not the ones. Yeah. What do you want? Where are you at? I don't remember where you're at. Can I buy more stuff? Can I buy cool stuff? I want to see, yeah, what can I get? So max, all right. How much? How far? 38, and I'm at 33. Get a 35. Two-handed. Why is it always two-handed? Why is it always two-handed? It's always two-handed. It's bullshit. Spend all their MP to move to any cell within movement range. This movement does not trigger attacks of opportunity. At the end of movement, the wearer automatically performs a melee area attack. Primary weapon against all adjacent enemies. Wait, what is this? Wearer always has the highest initiative in combat. I already have someone with this. So many melee buffs in this game? Kinda. Plus 15 damage, so 33 to 49. Okay, so let's take a look at this. 33 to 49. Shooting and supporting? No, he's good at shooting. He's good at seeing and shooting. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, he's literally a sniper. That's it. Okay, so 5 would be 29 to 41. Plus 10 would be 34 to 46. So enormous creatures are roughly equal with the long lasts. Oh, wait, I don't think that this takes into consideration that I have a +2 to minimum damage. Which is fine. You would still need an enormous creature or a massive creature before the sharpshooter outperforms the long last. And then this one, what is this one? Becomes stunned for 1 round. Base armor. What? Plus, what is this scale off of? Carouse over 10. Hold the fuck up. This might... I lose 30 strength and 10 to every other stat. But it gives me double the deflection and an extra 30% dodge, which doesn't actually matter, does it? Wait, if I put this on, how does this... Okay, okay, so I still have no fucking dodge. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, so my carouse went down by a fuck ton because I don't have the plus fucking 10. Not double. It's damn near double. So, okay, so basically what I'm doing is I'm trading 5% armor, 20 strength. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trading 5% armor, 30 strength, and 10 to every other stat for 16 deflection. And literally, that's it. Oh no, this is my tank character that I'm comparing this to. This ain't on me. My character can't even use heavy armor. What does deflection do? So deflection is a flat reduction to the damage taken. So, you know, have the talent that doubles his deflection against single target attacks? I don't know. Probably. 30% dodge and less dodge penalty. The problem is that he has so little dodge that extra 30% doesn't actually do anything. Deflection is applied after the percent reduction as well. I was actually curious about that. Right, he's not built very good. Yeah. Fucking I'm buying this game. Hell yeah. What was it? The talented doubles his deflection against single target attacks. That would probably be that would 100% be a Vanguard ability, right? Hmm. Oh, it's an exemplar talent? Okay. Oh, that's Vanguard. No, so I don't have it yet. I do not have it yet. But it is on my list of things to get. It's probably going to be what I pick up in the next level, honestly. Alright, so we literally... Oh, shit! I came back in to talk to fucking Dogman. I forget his name. Where is he at? There he is. Oh, I've literally never spoken to him in here. Completely forgot to talk to this guy.
Dungeons, eternally disgracing. Flows now this saga in the hall of glorious feasting, where all extol the wolf mighty and the yet fatter cunning. I hope you're not going to put off the feast. Our escape demands a grand celebration.
I am curious if anybody's ever told him that his songs don't rhyme. What are you doing with your new freedom?
As we speak, they are likely performing some bloody service for Calcazar. For that reason, I want to have a word with the Inquisitor.
Unrelated, I finished my hard difficulty solo run. Hell yeah! Took several hours on the fight I was stalled on, but I finally got a second turn, so everything died. Hell yeah. Good luck! Good luck, good sir. Alright. And what do you want?
Rogue trader. Of course. Which part? I do not know. It was one of those tough situations where only time will tell how well you handled them.
Or the DLC 3 on the 11th? Wait, it comes out in 5 days? Or July 11th? Oh, fuck. I just realized what day it is. 1 second. Uno momento, por favor. That is not what I needed. Okay. I literally just realized. It is 5 days? Okay. Yeah, thank you for saying that, by the way, because it literally just reminded me. Oh, shit, it's my mom's birthday. I didn't realize it was already the 6th. Okay. What do you think we could have done to satisfy the... Okay, continue.
If I were in your position, I would take the prefect's evaluation in stride and learn from your painful experience on Dasara. Sometimes, life knocks the wind out of you in a way that can't be dodged, so it helps to learn how to take a hit.
You can say what you like, so I'm convinced that I made the right choice.
I'm not going to call the prefix judgment into question, but you had to make a difficult decision, and you made it. You took responsibility. I appreciate such qualities in people.
People. Did you like any of the entertainment we saw this era?
I was on a mission, not attending to pointless amusements.
The achievements are up on Steam as of yesterday. Oh, interesting. I will not be looking at them. Must have been something.
Very well. If you insist, let me think about it one more time. The wine smelled like wash. The imposter hunt was a plot. I failed to see anything appealing there. And the rest of the festivities had all the characteristics of degradation. I believe that covers everything.
No good at enjoying yourself.
Right. And I'm almost proud of it. What kind of arbitrator would stoop to idle revelry or throne forbid dancing?
What a boring man you are.
You should take that into account if you ever need an escort for some high society events. You know, one who actually has your back and keeps watch instead of drinking.
Fair enough.
We could discuss something else.
This is on daring or above and finish this puzzle the first time, or max out all your slots for the augment equipment. Oh.
Yes, I've been looking for a chance to have this conversation. I must tell you something about my past, so that we might consider the matter closed.
Oh, yeah?
If you agree to hear me out, that is.
What do you got?
It's about what really pushed me into the pit of anger.
Was it because everybody died?
Back in Calixis, before I was promoted to Proctor, I served in the same squad with another arbitrator, Emerson. He wasn't just a comrade. We entered the Schola Progenium together. We went through training together. We were assigned to the same hive world. He was like a brother to me, and I killed him. We ran into an ambush during a raid, all because Emerson sold us out to a crime syndicate.
Oh, that's fun.
I was badly wounded in the fight, lying on the floor, barely alive. The rest of the squad had gone to scout the area, and Emerson stayed to guard me. He didn't notice that I was awake. He was talking over the Vox. He kept demanding bigger payment, and when he started giving our coordinates, I shot him in the back of the head. I figured that we weren't making it out of there alive, so I logged my final report, attached my Vox to Glato's collar, and told him to return to the headquarters. Then, I passed out again, and when I came to, I had already been captured. The heretics tortured me for days, but I held on until the exaction squad arrived.
Why capture you instead of killing you on the
I was
spot?
right by their contact's corpse. They had to know how I found them out, and what else I knew about them. They tried to beat the answers out of me, tried long and hard. I kept my mouth shut, because I knew that the second I started talking, they would dispose of me.
Garbage interrogators. You don't just hit your prisoners. God, these idiots. They need to learn how to torture people. What's an exaction squad?
Special unit. Exaction squads are dispatched to track down and apprehend dangerous criminals. They were investigating Emerson's betrayal, and it had led them to the heretics' hideout, where I was being held prisoner.
How did you survive?
I could throw pretty words at you about how I went through the Injunctor Cardinal in my mind, or prayed to the Emperor, but I did pray, and I was well trained to tolerate pain, but every arbitrator has their limit. When I was almost broken, what helped me through was hatred.
Oh, interesting choice.
I kept recalling that bastard's face and smothered any base thoughts I had about welcoming death again and again. Hours of agony, hours in the whirlpool of pure rage.
There's my boy. There's.
I was put under investigation, but was cleared of the charges and assigned to piety without Glato. The most corrupt hive world in the Drusis marches. 2 years among the vilest dregs of humanity. It was a test, and I passed. I got my promotion, got Glato back. But after Emerson's betrayal, I was never the same.
Yeah, you did the right thing.
I know.
Have you recentered yourself?
Firmly. It was your words that pulled me out of that darkness, and you have my gratitude.
He's like a less dickish version of Heinrichs. Hi. You wanna be a shoulder cat? You wanna be a shoulder cat? I'm currently distracted by Kitten, and I will not apologize. All right.
I've been reflecting on the spirit of his law and what the Emperor himself wants for us. If anyone had told me before that I would be thinking about things like that, I probably would have caved their face in. But the truth is, I no longer see heresy in such thoughts. No, it's the opposite. I feel like they bring me closer to the Emperor.
Oh my god! How's Glato?
You need not concern yourself with Glato. I recently finished checking all his protocols. His responses are instantaneous. I cannot pretend I haven't missed his companionship.
Contact you about the reinstatement.
He did send a message, and the phrasing was unusually heartfelt. Solomon Anthar, you are hereby restored to your rank of Proctor. Never allow even a shadow of dishonor to fall on your uniform again.
Exactly which part of that was heartfelt?
Every word. You don't know the Marshal that well, so you can take it from me.
Alright.
Good. It is about time we changed the subject.
There's my shoulder cat. It took him a minute, but I knew he would get here. Alright. Let's do the current quest. Tell me about which one of my officers is betraying me, except for, you know, what was his name? Montag? That digbag? Don't know what you're talking about. What the fuck? Okay. What the fuck? Wait! Wait, why am I sitting on air? What is happening? What the fuck? No, I can't get like a better shot than like this. Look at this. Your name is Terry and you have many, many powers. This is true. Rogue Trader, I hold 3 senior officers accountable for the misconduct I've uncovered as part of my investigation. I allege that the ship's crew is full of wanted criminals. Do you refute the charge? Janus Danrock. The High Factotum stares at the arbitrator with an uncharacteristic coldness. What are you insinuating, esteemed Proctor? Heretics on board the ship of the Emperor's Anointed are a threat to the whole Imperium. If anyone knew of this and failed to report it, punishment will follow. Isn't that right, Vox Master? Vigdis does not react in any way to the arbitrator's words. I do my duty honorably and will obey the Lord Captain's will, whatever it may be. Alright, why have you gathered my people here? I have uncovered a scheme involving all 3 of them. It is coordinated by the Vox Master, who buries incriminating facts about voidsmen on your ship in the depths of the archives. Janus Danrock and Ravor turn a blind eye to the sordid pasts of the new recruits. And divvy up the workforce that has come into their possession. This is a completely insane accusation. We are not bringing criminals into the crew intentionally. Of course we're not. I'll admit that we do not try to hunt down every biographical fact about each voidsman who sets foot on board, but only because that would be a hopeless endeavor. But none of us had any intention of populating your ship with heretics. Are you a heretic, buddy? Are you a filthy Xeno? No, you're a good boy. Why not hire people from the lower decks? Let's out an uncertain chuckle. What our esteemed Master Helmsman meant to say is that those unfortunates are only suitable for menial labor. It is simply impossible to find qualified voidsmen in the numbers we require. Oh shit, I did not mean to actually choose a thing. Are we really taking fugitive criminals into our crew? Sort of. Sometimes they slip through the net because we don't have information from local wardens. Sometimes we're forced to overlook an unsightly pass for the sake of acquiring niche specialists. Even common smugglers, for instance, often turn out to be quite an asset on Ravor's crew. We do draw a line, however, at even a whisper of genuine heresy in a Voidfarer's past. They just raises their gaze to you. I'm sure you realize, Lord Captain, that smuggling and false cultism are both heresies in the eyes of the law, for they transgress his word, but one is far more dangerous than the other, to put it bluntly. Why have you kept this? Oh, shit, I didn't mean to click that. Solmorn, why stage the scene, accusing senior officers in front of the entire bridge? I was in a rush and applied the regulations I'm accustomed to using on other vessels to your flagship. It was my fault for misjudging the situation, Rogue Trader. Why have you kept this from me? We did not intend to hide it from you, Lord Captain. Theodora did not deign to involve herself in so trifling a matter as replenishing her workforce. She was only interested in ensuring that there were no interruptions in the running of the ship. We've always handled crew appointments on our own without your lordship's involvement. Qualified personnel shortage was solved by appointing specially trained voidsmen from among the crew. First round, flagship's lance weapons deal 3 damage. Plus 3 damage. Chosen senior officers with the task of recruiting specialists as a token of the officer's appreciation. Components of the macro cannons were upgraded with special Voidfarer technology, rumored to be at the crew's personal expense. In the first round, the flagship's macro cannons make an additional +1 attack. Ooh. What did you do in my position, Solomon? I can see that your officers are acting for the good of the dynasty. It would be unfair not to take that into account in their sentencing. Therefore, I propose a process of atonement for the criminals brought aboard. Those who show due diligence and loyalty at the end of their term may officially join the crew. All expenses are to be taken out of the personal allowances of these 3. It will be their penalty for circumventing the law. Delta Pirates specifically. Nah. I'm satisfied with the way things are. Thank you, your lordship. Alright. Are we? All right. I guess we make a stop at Dargonis. And then we head on over to the place with stuff and the things. An important discovery when you destroyed the creature the mutants called the Sire. I felt it was my duty to investigate how the abomination found its way onto our ship. During digging through old inventories and archives of trade transactions, I latched onto a single name, Finger of Sorrow. More than 2 centuries ago, the drifting hulk of this vessel was discovered by Lady Theodora's predecessor. It was a lost merchant ship with a hold full of cargo. I was reminded of the 3 sorrowful phalanges mentioned by the twisted creatures. I dare theorize that this image harkens back to the name of the ship woven into the heretics' beliefs. A third of the goods taken from the Finger of Sorrow were sold to the Drusian mission on footfall for the needs of a colonization arc. The Wasteland Wayfarer bound to the world just 7. Everything for this game, hell yeah. A third was taken to Hive Scipion 84-249 on Dargonis, where a mutiny broke out later, and the final third was left on the flagship. Surely you can see where I was going with this. Centuries later, a cult of mutants emerged in every single location the shipments were delivered to. Where did this Finger of Sorrow come from? Derived in the Expanse from somewhere in the Calaxis sector. More precise information may be contained in the dead vessel's log, but I do not have it in my possession. We should locate the wreck and investigate. Already been entered in the logbook, your lordship. Ooh. Also have to clear up some trash. That's fair. Yes, fair. Yes, fair. Who dis? Is that Cassia? It is Cassia. Terry, how wonderful it is that I found you here. Uncontrollable anxiety washes over your body, causing you to lose your breath. Cassia notices, closes her eyes, and you are released from the grip of emotions that are not your own. Please forgive me, my powers are sometimes too insistent in their attempts to break free from my control. You made great strides. I commend your perseverance. I came to deliver good tidings. I have spoken with the house's navigators through the Atlas. Of course, I can feel with increasing clarity how our connection is growing stronger. Despite the dissent in its midst, House Orselio has been able to keep a precarious equilibrium. Thanks in part to your unexpected arrival on Urac 5 and the resolution of the conflict at the Dargonis reception. Not all Orselios concur with your decisions, but none can deny the impact that you, and no one else, have had on the House's present state of affairs. There's more I wish to tell you. It is about the visions that I have come to experience at an increasing rate during warp jumps. The same visions come to me again and again and again. It is as if I am going mad. For you see, these visions are about me, the Atlas and Tisiphone Orselio, the House's previous Novator. I have seen Tisiphone's experiments, the ones that involved the navigators from the Sethala branch, which she was rumored to have destroyed for disobedience. But the visions told me an altogether different story, one where the Sethalas helped Tisiphone create the Atlas, and they vanished immediately after the experiments were done with. Perhaps I can... No! I know I can find the way to the Palace of the Atlas if I recreate Tisiphone's journey from my visions. A real palace, not the psychophysical illusion to which the Orselio navigators can reach out. I have always had a feeling that it truly exists in our world. Now, however, I wish to know with absolute certainty. I think I bought like 6 copies of this game at this point between all the gift copies I've given. Damn. I've been informed we'll soon convene as Grand Council. Would it not be better to wait for it to finish first? What makes you so sure that you will find a way? Would it not be better to wait? I cannot shake a certain foreboding that the upcoming meeting in the incorporeal palace of the Atlas. Troubling mirages have plagued my mind for many nights now. Voices calling and cursing my name. And the more I use the Atlas, the clearer the visions become, and the louder the voices grow, and the further my powers wane. I am certain that all of the house is experiencing the same, for all of us are connected. I can sense my family's fear. House Orselio is doomed to perish in darkness, should I fail to discover the reason why the Atlas is weakening. And that reason, I believe it is hidden somewhere in my visions of Tisiphone. What else did they tell you? Wait, what? Who's disliking this stream? I don't know. Somebody disliking my stream? I don't even see likes or dislikes. I'm not gonna lie. Let me just double check. Are you actually online here? Yes, I am. Okay. I am actually online. Hooray! Am I actually online here? I'm actually online. Okay, good. Yeah, so I have actually only ever had one slur used in my chat. Well, I mean, it starts at 0, so if you're the only person that's liked it so far, then it should be at 0. Hello, Taco. Yeah, okay, so yeah, this is what I'll say. I've only ever had one slur used in my chat. Only ever one. And of the 3, I currently stream on 3 platforms, right? I stream on YouTube, I stream on Kick, I stream on Rumble. Of the 3 platforms, the one that has boxes around the letters, yeah, right? The one platform where somebody jumped in chat and just started pew out the gate, first message slur, was on YouTube. I was like, what the fuck? Kick and Rumble are slacking. You know, they are the ones. They are the ones that have the reputation for the slurs. Not the YouTube. Although YouTube comments are not exactly well known for being polite and well-intentioned. But yeah. So that was a little weird. But back to the game. I saw Tisiphone experience an epiphany in a dream. Haha, Tisiphone epiphany. Just like my visions came to me on our travels through the warp. She beheld a planet hidden behind roiling warp storms. The world promised her great power, so Tisiphone gathered the Cephalus, her most devout followers, to go on a suicidal journey through the Tempest. Doesn't count if you don't mean it. This is true. I know not the details of what happened on that planet, but it was there that the Cephalus sacrificed themselves for an experiment of some kind. And it was there that House Arcelio obtained its Starway Atlas. For the first time ever, I have an opportunity to find answers to the questions my mentors so deftly avoided. Why did Tisiphone choose me? What is the Atlas? Is it true that House Arcelio's past is drenched in blood? Please, Terry, do not snap this tautly drawn string of destiny. My destiny. Journey with me in Tisiphone's wake to the distant stars. Okie dokie, I'll help you. She breathes a sigh of relief, but the look at her ruby eyes quickly darkens again. The house is still watching me, both the renegades and the loyalists. I doubt that any of them will agree even to a brief armistice for the sake of learning the truth about the Atlas's origins. And I do not wish to see House Arcelio lose even one more life to another fratricidal skirmish. No, I shall go after the answer. I shall go after the answers about our past on my own. It is best that we go alone. Thank you for your understanding, Rogue Trader. And now permit me to take my leave. I'm going to start preparing for the journey. From what I have been able to glean, we must first travel to the Arcelio prophecy system. Odd that. It could be that the historical records are lying, and Kalain Arcelio is not whom the star system is named after. Either way, that was the system from which Tisiphone embarked on her journey, and we're going to follow in her long-forgotten footsteps. Hooray! I'm so glad that I'm now in here where I don't ever want to be, because there's literally nothing here. Oh yeah, wait, can I talk to you? How do you find life on the flagship? Sometimes I stop and stand by a window, and it's like I'm flying through the starry sea myself. I still can't believe this is happening to me. You are so generous, my celestial lord. I couldn't dream of more. Jesus. Oh, you're not feeling lonely here, are you? Why, my celestial lord, I have you, and Master Danrock has been very kind to me. Sometimes he brings me all kinds of amazing things. The other day, it was a book for little nobles. I learned from it that the stars are huge, too big to pick up and hold between your fingers, or even to hug with both your arms. When they dance together, they form entire galaxies. You need not fear anyone here. Dance if you want to. Thank you, my celestial lord. Sometimes I feel as if I've died and gone to the heavenly palace of the God Emperor himself. You're so kind to me. Double recap. Increases the character's strength by 10 in the next combat. There's a one-time bonus that disappears after the combat ends. Interesting. What about this one? Agility by 10. Okay, so I now have agility and strength plus 10. Amasek. Willpower by 10 as well? What the fuck? Wait, these are actual, like, what? Oh, you don't keep the others. Okay. Yeah, I thought that you could keep all three of them. Where's the place that I need to... There. Permission to report, Lord Captain. Mistress Cabela has been apprehended by enforcers at the scene of a crime. Eyewitnesses saw her assault and kill the esteemed chirurgeon Majoris. She has confessed to the murder. The penalty for murdering a senior officer is death. However, given Mistress Cabela's honorable service and her special status, I dare not proceed without your permission. She is incarcerated and awaiting your judgment. Let me know when you are ready to hear her case. The warp jump was a success, but the rocks faster. Oh my god! Nothing... Doesn't matter. I hate it here. Nah. Does Nomos actually have anything to say? No. Alright, bring her here. Let's see what happens. Let justice be done and all that. Lord Captain, a murder has been committed on this ship. The victim is one Leonard Furious, chirurgeon Majoris. The perpetrator was apprehended at the scene of the crime, admitted her guilt. You can't throw her out the airlock. Wait, Jocasta or Cabela? Cabela appears cold and apathetic. Her unblinking eyes stare vacantly, her expression odd. The Furious clan invoked the ship's tradition and summoned a requiescator to testify on behalf of the deceased. Masked man bows stiffly and decorously. How do you feel, Cabela? I'm fine. This is just hollow ceremony. Pointless. Explain! What the hell is that even? What the hell is that word? When there is no one to speak for a deceased person in court, their representative is entitled to seek assistance from a member of the blah 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 guild. Their duty is to know and remember each and every person on the ship so that they can defend the interests of the deceased and represent them in court. The study of the victim's entire life history to gain the most detailed impression of their personality, deeds, and aspirations. The guild was founded by one of your distant ancestors and, to my knowledge, the blah 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 only exist on our glorious flagship. Why is he speaking for Forius? Does the man not have a family? The clan to which the deceased belonged are wary of bringing accusations against the Lord Captain's companion, and the esteemed Letard never made any courageous friends in his life, having always preferred his work to the company of others. Alright, how well do you know the deceased? He was fascinated by diseases, injuries, pathogens, complications. The part he disliked was the patients. They would not let him concentrate on that which was killing them. Alright, what happened? Eyewitness accounts don't give us much. The deceased and the murderer had a brief conversation, following which Mistress Cabela beheaded the chirurgeon Majoris. The witnesses did not overhear any details of the conversation. Is it true that she killed him? Yes, neither the chirurgeon's death nor her own impending punishment seems to trouble Cabela. Her pensive dark gaze wanders across the bridge. It was me. But why? The heartless man enjoyed what he did. His work should have been a holy mission of service. The pain of thousands should have been a solemn sacrifice, yet he derived pleasure from it. It was repulsive. Adhere to the tenets of the Bloodspun web with greater vehemence. Interesting. The Undying One never whispered his name. I myself decided to sever his thread. Wait! But if she was adhering to the tenets stronger than normal, why did she go against the tenets to kill him? What? Told you it would end like this, but why should anyone lose? Oh, shut up. Her colors have changed. The scarlet and the gold are drowning in the rage of muddled crimson, the misty blues of sorrow, and the impenetrable greens of doubt. These shades are all in conflict, melding together in a frenetic tapestry. She was never sane to begin with. Judging lunatics is a thankless duty. The more important thing to address is that her cult is guilty of having drilled the notion of chosenness into her head. The whole sect must answer for this incident. I did not ask for any of y'all's input, by the way. I asked her a question, and y'all fucking piped in. And the only one that had anything interesting to say was Cassia. Let's hear from the victim's representative. The esteemed Letard served this void ship and this dynasty for many years. They were bored? Well, go do something. He treated the sick and gained new knowledge as his trade commanded. He saved many, but he himself was not saved. He caused Mistress Cabela no grievance. He never offended her. He merely answered her questions regarding his work, whereupon he was attacked. And so he has the right to demand a reckoning. The death of his murderer would be lawful and proportionate retribution. Yes, but she's so much more useful. The heartless man did more than heal people. He maimed them too, tortured them, killed them slowly, and observed. Frowning, Cabela adds, there was another like the heartless man, a Xenos of the Dark City, who lorded over flesh and oversaw unholy resurrections. Yep. They were both touched by the same corruption, that of hubris. He treated the sick and he gained knowledge. The boots of those who walk the path of wisdom leave bloodied footprints. It is a rule that existed long before the esteemed Letard did. Whom specifically did Forius torture? Unimportant people, common people, doomed people. This was the esteemed Letard's way of thinking. Does a doomed leper care whether the disease or the knife is causing them pain? Is the formula for a medicine that would cure distinguished officers not worth the lives of a few dozen commoners turned test subjects? With the knowledge he gained, he invented a multitude of balms, antidotes, and treatment methods that went on to save thousands of lives. Are we popular yet? This guy is not cool, for real. His methods were revolting. His methods were efficient. Only one who has never lain upon an operating table would prefer a principled healer to a competent one. You don't have to... These are not mutually exclusive, you fucking idiot. I've learned enough. We humbly await your verdict, Lord Captain. Hmm. Dr. Giro, is that you? Yeah, no. A, he deserved to die. B, I'm not killing Cabela. And C, his practices are banned. Because I'm a Goodman. That is the Lord Captain's will, but the deceased would not call it justice. I don't care. I cannot be put on trial. None have the right to judge a spinner of death. Cabela's words are barely louder than a whisper, but everyone hears them. She raises her head, her face deathly pale, as if she is asleep, with her eyes open. Who dis? Vizier of the Bloodspun Web. Only he can judge. Oh. The Vizier's eyes are sewn shut. One can still read the grief that permeates. Whispers in a sorrowful voice. You have strayed from the thread. You have doomed the tenants of the Bloodspun Web to oblivion. What a sorry end for me, not for you. For I am compelled to usher my apprentice's soul to the other side before it is my own time to go. Why have you come here? To take the one who no longer sees the tenets, to give her to him, she is dangerous, to pacify her forever, such is my duty, and so it must be. Mentor, why me? Do you truly think the greatest danger to your flock is me? Never gave you permission to harm my servant, Vizier. But if you saw her the way I see her, you would. She is tempest, she is woe. You do not want this by your side, Doman, believe me. She is not herself. The second spitter is in the throes of a spiritual ailment that we call doubt. This most terrible ailment, though harmless to layfolk, is deadly to us. For a doubtful spitter will stray from their destined thread and into bloodthirsty madness. Doubt brings them to the undying one before their time. Our service is demanding. It requires clarity and a sense of purpose that she no longer possesses. Long have I sensed the seeds of anxiety in her, but I hoped her reason would prove stronger and prevail. Alas, now I see the mark of despondence on her. Alas, I know that I am not mistaken. There must be a way to help. How would one heal the soul of another, Doman? She is fighting a losing battle inside her mind, one she has all but lost. We cannot enter her mind. We cannot reach out a hand to her, although you could. A thread binds the Doman and his shadow together. A rare thread, a shared thread. Will that connection be enough for your souls to enter into harmony? Must attempt to save her at the very least. The Vizier turns his face toward Cabela, who seems withdrawn, her spark snuffed out. He whispers, then seek a steward of souls, an artisan, who will put you both in a psycher's trance, allowing your minds to become one. You have a chapel full of astropaths, Doman. One of them will surely do you that service. See that their guidance is strong, for inside her soul you will encounter monsters. A doubt-ridden mind is a dangerous place. I always forget that that one is the shortcut to the captain's quarters. I have to come all the way the fuck over here to go somewhere else. That's interesting. Oh, yeah, get him the fuck out. Why is Argenta come? Why was Argenta selected? That's kind of wild. She wants to go on missions too. Well, too bad. Hey, Zach! If you just killed the boring one, there would be space for her. No! She might be boring, but she's really fucking useful. I'd probably have both of them on if I were doing a full dogmatic run. Oh, here goes, Vice. She killed your surgeon? Yeah, but he was like a doctor death kind of thing. The choir looks away, embarrassed. The mistakes of the past no longer haunt me. Not in my dreams or in reality, but I still remember. I remember every single one of them. Can you put me in a trance with Cabela? I need to get inside her mind. A synchronized trance is a complex telepathic practice. Things can go awry unless both participants trust each other and have a strong spiritual connection. However, I can sense that you do. I would be honored to be your guide during the ritual, Lord Captain, but remember, it is easy to get lost in another person's thoughts, and the fears of others house monsters. I am prepared. Good God, Emperor, aid you, Lord Captain. Sure, why not? Yeah, we could say that, Joa. A shackled mind cannot comprehend the wisdom retained herein. Therefore repeat, he is death. Release your breath with each word. Cleanse your thoughts. He is death. Truth lies in death. Free your soul from the body's cage. Become nothing. He is death. Now that your heartbeat is a perfect line and your vision is shrouded in dusk, you have almost reached a state of purity and balance. Heed. No human will see death before their time. That is the delusion of the living. Heed. To which we say a strong spirit can travel there and make the journey back. Heed the tale of the great Doman Terry, who descended into the kingdom of the dead to retrieve his shadow. He is there. Birth and death are one. We are snatched from a place of warmth and sent blood-covered into an unfamiliar world. Dying is the same. The Doman, too, learned this as he opened his eyes and found himself on the lower decks, lying in a cold coffin. He beheld his ship drifting through nothingness, an adamantine giant's corpse, a skeleton moaning from the winds of entropy. A tempest of rust was gnawing at its plasteel bones and twisting its vein-like cables, while machine oil oozed out its bulkheads like lymph. Had the Doman been alone, he would have lost his way inside the ship's mangled bowels, but a guide reached out a hand to him. The spirit of old Veni Zachary had loyally followed the Doman to the other side. In the labyrinth of the hereafter, the piercing gaze of Veni Zachary discerned the thorny path to the halls of death. The loyal servant swore to protect his lord. Together, the Doman and the Veni made their way up through the malformed frame of the ship. From the cold catacombs of the lower decks, they traveled up into the fires of the ship's crematorium. Tongues of flame licked at them, yet they did not burn. Columns of the dead marched toward them to be turned to ash in the fire, and the Doman and the Veni walked toward the dead in turn. At the great gate of the crematorium, their path was blocked by the executioner, a sentinel made of metal spikes and coiling blades with roaring flame and pale, bleeding bodies writhing within. Such is a blade that has lost the strength of the tenets. A murderous monster no longer driven by faith, but by dark desires. The Doman saw that a fight was inevitable, and banished the monster with a fervent prayer to the Emperor. The beast prostrated itself and began to tear its own body apart. For words of true faith pacify even the worst of evils with a sense of shame and self-loathing. And a card of his tarot appeared in the Doman's hand. It was the God Emperor, and the first doubt was dispelled. He is death. He is death. Veni Zachary led the Doman out of the hot furnace of the crematorium, and they walked past long columns of the dead. Frayed was their attire, their bones scraped against their augmetics and scratched their decrepit flesh. They were moaning sorrowfully, and the sound made memory fade away. The Doman saw that the dead were carrying an ark, and inside the ark was a thing. A lost child cocooned in silk, shedding crimson tears for the unknown. The unliving carried her as servants would carry their lady, and loudly lamented their fate. Such is a blade mired in the broodings over a lost past. A helpless child paralyzed by regret. Lest he sink into the soft rot of their wails and perish, the Doman spoke gently to the lost child. And the lost child's tears were dried, and with a meek sigh she returned to nothingness. For mercy, too, can be the blade that brings peace. And a card of his tarot appeared in the Doman's hand. It was the star. And the second doubt was dispelled. He is death. And the old Venny led the Doman to the upper decks, and the Doman entered into the officers' chambers. A web of veins adorned the walls, entangling the precious trophies that statues were bound in intertwining sinews. And high upon a balcony, the dismembered judge wailed as he attempted to reassemble himself with his pale hands. But his movements merely tightened the tangle of the flesh, turning the chambers into a snare. Such is a blade tangled and trapped in misunderstood teachings. A hapless creature that does not know its place in the world. In order to continue on his journey, the Doman helped the judge by returning each of his organs to their proper place. And the judge became whole again and regained his comprehension of the world. For one who is wise can make whole what was broken. And a card of his tarot appeared in the Doman's hand. It was the road trader, and the third doubt was dispelled. He is death. The flagship's bridge was draped in skulls and webs, and pale souls of the dead flocked to the foot of the throne upon which sat the undying emperor, the protector of mankind. May his praises be innumerable. Starlight shone coldly in the eyes of his skull, and the galaxy rested in his mighty hand. The Doman approached his throne and went down on one knee, offering a prayer to him. The Undying One heeded the words spoken to him and lowered his brow of bone, acknowledging that he had heard the prayer, as he had heard the Doman's other prayers before. Then the Undying One spoke, and these words are to be preserved in your heart as the greatest of prayers, for they sprang from a source that was and is the holiest of all things. I know you, Doman. I know your heart, and the softness that dwells within it. Many who were due to pass on to me remained alive as your heart willed, but I am not angered, for they will pass on to me in the end. The Undying Emperor, may his praises be innumerable, said no more, and it was the Doman's turn to speak. And speak the Doman did, saying that he had come to find his shadow and rescue her. The skeletal fingers stirred, and the Doman's shadow loomed out of the darkness beside his throne. She was bound in black chains and asleep. The Undying One was silent. Now was the time to offer a payment, as death would give nothing away without payment at the return. And the Doman promised the Undying One. What? How does this fit with everything else that we've said? How does this make sense with literally every other iconoclast thing that we've done? Fuck it. Nothing. You get nothing. Those were true words. For everything is indeed nothing, and the Undying Emperor is Lord of nothing. For all things live only to turn to dust and death. The Doman's wisdom pleased the Undying One. Then the Undying Emperor leant over the Doman and drove a skeletal finger right into his heart, and he pulled at the scarlet thread of his soul, and the thread trembled, stretched to the limit. It was then that a revelation came to the Doman. A life must be paid for a life. And a name was revealed to him, Naki Erebus. That was the life the Undying One demanded as payment, and the Doman agreed, I guess. An oath of blood is sworn, and the chains fell from the Doman's shadow. Yet she remained silent and motionless. for she saw no sense in leaving the halls of death. To which the Doman told her, that her duty to the Undying One in the Doman had not yet been fulfilled. And there was clarity in the Shadow's soul, and her eyes opened. Her doubt was banished, and she glimpsed the truth in her Lord's words. That her woes stemmed from her wavering faith, and that the Shadow must return to the thread of the web in order to do his bidding. He is death. The Doman and his Shadow left the bridge of the Undying Emperor. May his praises be innumerable, and their path was strewn with his tarot cards. Among them, the Doman saw the card of the Executioner, who carries out sentences and brings a violent end to that which he did not begin. Among them, the Doman saw the card of the Lost Child, who is torn from her roots and her support, but carries within her the still hidden seeds of a promise to recover them someday. Among them, the Doman saw the card of the Judge, who weighs and separates guilt from innocence and passes his verdict. And they descended into the lower bays, lay in a stone coffin, and closed their eyes. And the Doman heard the Undying Emperor's voice promising that they would meet again, and soon. And thereupon their journey ended. And so it was that the Doman, having seen death before his due time, traveled there and back to bring us these tidings and wisdom. Be free of doubt as you walk along the threads of the blood-spun web. For those threads lead to him, as does all of existence. He is death. As the shock of another mind's jumbling thoughts stops constricting your throat, you find yourself staring at Cabela's pale face. It has settled into a strange expression. Doman Terry? I spoke to the Emperor. That was not the Emperor, Lord Captain. It was merely Mistress Cabela's vision of him. A figment born out of her imagination. Alas, none among my fellows are powerful enough to bring you the voice of the protector of mankind. Look at the choirmaster. It is over, Lord Captain. We are in the world of flesh again. Are you well, Cabela? I remember stumbling. I remember my doubt in the truth of the tenets throwing me off my feet. I remember deciding to kill, and not because I had heard his whisper, but because I deemed it to be right. Death whispered my name, for a spinner without a thread is like a sky without stars. They would drown in their own soul's darkness. But you reminded me of who I am, and that my shameful weakness must be extinguished. This Naki Erebus is the payment the Undying One demands, the price of redemption, the price of freedom. Who's this person? Where are they from? I do not know. Help me find them, Doman. Your factotum oversees archives that contain many names. Let him find the one that death has spoken, and I will pay the price that was set, for I feel with all my essence that the death of Naki Erebus is the key, the answer to my questions. Hooray, I got 84 experience. Okay. And I am fading very quickly. So with that, we did 3 companion quests today. Not quite as I wish I could go longer, but I'm fading really quickly. Today was already kind of like exhausting, and then the flood happened, which did not help anything. Only even more text for Cabela for the next 3 segments of this? No fucking way. That's wild. I figured it was gonna be like we would actually fight the monsters in her mind. You know, like me and Cabela would go into a mind palace. Also, it's one of the hardest fights in the game at the end. Oh, yeah. Give me some challenge. Next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be doing Final Fantasy IX. Friday and Saturday, we're going to be doing more Rogue Trader. That's it. That's the plan. Very simple. Very simple, very easy. I'm going to go to bed. So, if you're over on the YouTube side of things and you have not done so already, hit that subscribe button. Be very much appreciated. If you are on Kick or Rumble and you have not done so already, hit that follow button. It'd be very much appreciated. If you're on Rumble or YouTube and you haven't done so already, hit that like button. It'd be very much appreciated. And if you would like to financially support the stream, on Rumble and YouTube, I have in the description links to my Patreon and my Throne. If you want to toss me some fucking minis. And I also have paid subscriptions on Kick and Rumble that you can make use of. But yeah, regardless of whether or not you hit any of those buttons, I appreciate y'all as always. And as always, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I hope you all have a good evening, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!